So I realized I made a mistake. I grabbed the wrong selfie stick. It's like a third-party selfie stick. It's carbon fiber, but it's super long, and I'm totally worried about it breaking. I just don't trust anything but the actual. It's really hard to hold. Let's see what happens. Mostly I wanted to shoot today because I got my Lift4 back on the water, and I'll be explaining why I started with my Lift3 later when I'm going to show you guys some cosmetic stuff that I'm going to do. And I also had to do some repairs because, well, I dropped my board and I got a little crack in it. So I wanted to quick record something for my eFoil filmmaking show. I get that, like, I've seen a lot of eFoilers putting stuff up on TikTok and YouTube and wherever, and I always feel like I get what people are trying to do when they bring their camera and they're talking to it and they're like, I'm doing the sport and I want to talk to my audience, and you can't hear a freaking thing.
You know, like I said, I'm not a great rider, so I'm not saying anything I'm doing is super impressive, but I'm having a great time doing super sharp. Sharp for me, at least.
I've got the tip for you. So, when it comes to toe side turn, the biggest problem I see in this sport is our chest through the turn. We start making our turn and we start getting low.
Like it's just nothing but wind noise. So I do a lot of, I shoot a lot of MOS, mezzone sound, and I put the sound back in later in post. And you could use an AI voice. You could even get your voice trained so it sounds like you. Totally not a problem to do. Or you could record a voiceover later and then put it in over the top. But you can't really record from the board, okay? Because it's too windy and stuff. So certainly don't rely on the microphone built into the camera. The only thing that I found that works is what I'm wearing right now, which is called an InstaMic, and it's a waterproof microphone. It's decent. It's not as good as like a Rode, wireless microphone, but it does work pretty well for being waterproof, and I have dunked it many times. You will need to pick up this fuzzy thing I've got covering it. You'll need to pick up sometimes we call them snowballs, sometimes you call them dead cats because they're a dead fuzzy thing. As small as this is, I'm going to call it my dead hamster because this is so tiny. So you got to get a dead hamster, which you can get from the InstaMic company, and stick it on there. Look, there's a lot I don't love about this microphone. Heck, I'll go as far as say there's a lot I don't love about every microphone I've ever used, both professionally and as a independent filmmaker. And there's a reason I'm usually willing to afford to have a professional sound crew on any kind of commercial set that I work on, because if there's something that's going to go wrong, it's going to be the sound. And I have had many projects where I didn't intend to shoot at MOS, at mezzone sound, without sound, but turned out, because the microphone failed or the monitor sounded great, but for some reason it didn't record properly, or the gains were off, or whatever, it was crackly. The HVAC, which we didn't hear in monitoring, was the only thing we could hear once we got it back to studio. There's 1,000 reasons why audio is going to go bad. So I've fixed a lot of projects in post by, well, I guess we're re-recording the audio and sticking it over the top of whatever we shot, or we're reshooting. Oh God, I fucking hate audio. Anyway, This works pretty well. I don't love how it attaches to my gear. I basically have to hot glue the clamp on there because I don't trust it. But it works pretty well, and I know a lot of you were totally amazed by, I think the first time I used it in a show was Staggered Stance, the Staggered Stance show. And everybody's like, how the hell did you record that? And there was a huge part of my devious nature that wanted to be like, what, your camera doesn't record audio this well? What's wrong? Your camera must be broken. I totally want to do that. Or I was like, oh no, I just used AI. I think it's crazy what non-professionals think AI is capable of in the filmmaking world. Nope, can't do that yet. Anyway, I'm gonna drop this camera off because I don't trust this selfie stick, and frankly, it's my first time back in my Lift4, and I'm just noticing this fucker is smooth, way smoother than Lift3, and I just want to rip it up. So you guys aren't invited. I'm gonna leave you on the dock. I'm not even gonna let you watch you from dock. I'm gonna make you stand in the corner. All right, you guys, I will talk to you later. Next.